Hey everyone, welcome to Financial Revelations. I am David Szafranski. This is episode bazillion. I don't even know how many episodes we've done. Maybe Kory does. Do you? You don't either. Kory, I rely on you for everything, and you've let me down. Hey, just a couple of housekeeping issues. nativosusa.org for the mission strips. We leave April 2nd next year. Your church could have its own mission strip. It's actually fairly inexpensive to go. It's not a fundraiser, so we charge what it costs to go on the trip. You don't have to dig a well when we go. We can do a lot of things. We're building a church there. We can do outreach to villages. We could stay in town and do an outreach. So up to you what we do. Somebody did ask me recently if I was available for speaking to groups. Yes, leadership, money in relationship to faith, men's groups, whatever. I've spoken to a lot of groups over the years. And then Sin of Retirement, thesinofretirement.com. You can go there. You can get my book. We have a study workbook coming out and then a group study workbook also. More on that later to come anyway. And you can also get merch. And I didn't realize, I don't know if you could see this. Yeah, you could see it good. But communism sucks. Yes, you could get shirts like this at the website. And when I did this, I didn't realize how prescient that was going to be. Because, we have democratic socialist, which is just another term for communist, being elected all over the place right now. New York, California, Colorado has communists. The only good communist is a dead communist, and that's usually where they end up. And you know how they end up? You know why it's easy to bury a communist? Because their caskets are really thin because they don't eat a lot. They're always waiting in bread lines. And so communists are normally pretty skinny people. It's the capitalists. It's really, it's like, I saw this thing where it said, hard times breed hard men, which breeds easy times, which breeds liberal women. Or liberals anyway. So yeah, we're in one of those crazy times where we are so wealthy that we have to worry about things that other people just don't have time to worry about. So we're going to do it for them. I was talking to somebody not too long ago where they said, but has socialism ever really been tried correctly? Like, I can't believe I'm hearing this from this person. I thought they were smart. Yes, it's been tried and tried and tried. Look at Cuba. Now you say, oh, well, we've embargoed them. We embargoed them. Okay, China didn't, Russia didn't, Venezuela didn't. They had access to everything. They could be a very wealthy nation. But they choose not to be. So anyway, sinofretirement.com, thesinofretirement.com, or just sinofretirement.com. They go to the same place. You can get a book, you can get the audio book, you can get a Kindle, like a Kindle version, online version. So there's a lot of ways to participate in Sin of Retirement. It's a great book. I love the book. Just talked to somebody who was reading it today. They love it. They said, it seems like it's just enough. And that's what I wanted to be. I didn't want to write a book that was like War and Peace. So let's get to some money, okay? And then I'm going to answer some of your questions because we got more questions to answer. Iran is still going on. And I know, like, I watch the news endlessly. That's my leisure time, is kind of look at the news and see what's going on. Because all of these things, this geopolitical world that we live in, it all comes to roost here. And I know it looks like we're blowing absolutely everything up in Iran. It's not the case. We're not. We haven't really touched Tehran except for IRGC buildings. We've left infrastructure in Tehran mainly untouched. But that's going to end. And there are days where Iran doesn't even blow off a missile in retaliation. And what does that tell you? Does it tell you that they're running out of missiles? No, it doesn't. What it tells you is they're afraid to move their missiles to bring them out, or they're incapable of doing it because we've blown up the entrances to caves or wherever they're hiding those things. But I think it's a mixture of both. I think they're probably waiting to move some so that they could do a large attack, as large as they could get away with, and we are decimating their military. But I don't want you to be too optimistic on time frame. I live optimistic. I'm an optimistic person. I always think the market's going higher. The reason why I think that is because the market's always going higher. It's not like Pollyannish to think that. It's actually happening. Now there's days and there's months and there's a year or two where it doesn't do that, but over time the market goes higher. So I am an optimistic person. I'm not a perma bull, but I think the market just always goes up here. The Iranians might stay irrational, and that's exactly what they're being right now, is irrational a little bit longer than some people could stay solvent. So I want you to be prepared. It's okay if you have cash sitting around, even to raise some cash. There's a couple of stocks that are up today. I'm looking at the screen. I see green over there. It's pretty orderly. I know it's a down day today, and oil is up, mainly because the Houthis. Look, the Houthis got involved last night with a ship. They're going to be easy to deal with. They're going to be way easier than the Iranians. They're disintermediated. They're like all over the place. They don't have central command like the Iranians do. They don't have the discipline that the Iranians do. I am praying that Donald Trump is right, though. I'm keeping him in my prayers. I suggest you do the same. But this could go on for a while. And even after we get the Strait opened, and I do believe that's going to happen relatively quickly. Week or two. So let's say the Strait is open. We're there. We're keeping carrier groups there. We're lighting them up. We're giving them the business end of a missile, which is exactly what we should be doing. The plan from the Iranians was always to slow roll the nuclear weapon. Okay, they're working towards it, but they're not being. It's like when you're on a plane and you're talking on a phone and the stewardess walks by. Look, don't be disrespectful to her, okay? She's got to tell you to hang up your phone. Hide it. That's what the Iranians were doing. They were hiding it, but they were moving slow because the real mission was to get a ballistic missile shield that could not be countered. And the Trump administration knew this. And so that's why they went now. Were they going to have a nuclear bomb tomorrow? Probably not. But once they got that ballistic missile shield to a point where it was indefensible, then they could go after a nuclear weapon. And then you wake up to North Korea. The difference between Iran and North Korea is North Korea just wants to be left alone. Iran wants to go out and kill people. They want to kill you, your kids, your Jewish neighbor, especially your Jewish neighbor. They want to kill them like 10 times. And we can't let that happen. We can't let it get to that point. So I'm glad we did what we did, but I'd like to see it be over. Oil's elevated. Stocks are a little bit depressed, but all in, it's pretty orderly today. Okay, so it's not like a flash crash or I'm not freaking out. I'm looking for value. That's what I'm doing. I'm looking for things that I want to buy that are cheaper than what they were a month ago. That's how you make money in the stock market. You buy things cheap, you sell them expensive. Okay, I don't know if I'm breaking news to you, but that's what we do. We look for value, and we're finding some. SpaceX is up today. What? SpaceX? It's not been up since the IPO. I love that company, by the way. I don't love the price right now, but I'm not buying it for right now. I'm buying it for 10 years from now, 5 years from now. So let's get some questions from listeners. Hey, really, we need to sell like a bazillion of these shirts. Everybody's got to know that communism sucks. Wear it proudly. Don't be afraid. That's what they want. They want you to be scared of them. And we're not going to be scared of them, okay? We don't need to be mean to people. I don't want to see bad things happen to people. But I'm allowed to believe what I believe, and I can wear it on a T-shirt. And if you get in my face, there's going to be problems, mainly for you. So, questions from listeners. What happened to the radio gig? What happened to the radio gig? Well, I'll tell you what happened. It started back when Salem Radio had to make a debt payment. And Salem and Moody are different. Okay, Salem is a publicly traded company. They've got teams of MBAs and accountants, and they couldn't make the debt payment, so they had to cut costs. They sold some stations, and they moved to a consolidated morning show across the nation, and that gave Moody, because now Salem wasn't local, they didn't have a local presence. Moody didn't have to counteract that, and Moody does not have teams and teams and teams of MBAs looking at things. They have a CFO who's smart, and they have good people working there, but I think it made it very easy for them to make that decision because a publicly traded company had done it, so they were going to do it. And that's exactly what they did. They went to a consolidated morning show. They weren't really interested in my content 100%, so they have me on every once in a while, and that's fine. I like them. They're very nice people. And I would continue to do that if they wanted me on because I like Moody. I don't love the decision. WCRF, the station that I was on, 103.3, really started to create a local presence for ministries in the area, to talk about them, to promote them. And over the years, Moody has slowly taken back all the airtime except for the morning show. They used to have an afternoon drive show on 103.3. Moody took that airtime. And so this was just the last piece of airtime that they're taking. I wouldn't be surprised soon if they sell all the real estate that they own. So everything changes. Everything changes. The only thing that's constant is change. So if you're not going to adapt and overcome, and I suggest that you listen to the new morning show. It's not new anymore. It's been around for a couple of years now, but give them a chance. They're really good. They're godly people. I like them. So that's what happened to the radio gig. And by the way, people ask me if I miss it. Yeah, I do. I really like doing it. I miss the people that I was on with. So, but yeah, we all move on. That's what happens. What do I think about the Trump account for kids? I love this idea. I love it. We have people trying to open up IRAs for their kids all the time. And you have to have earned income to contribute to an IRA, a Roth or a regular, unless it's spousal. A spousal IRA can have no earned income and contribute the maximum, but a kid cannot. So what happens in a Trump account is if your kid was born after January 1st, 2025, they're going to deposit $1,000 into it for you, but you can put, I think it's $5,000 a year. And then when the kid turns 18, it turns into an IRA, at which time, if the kid isn't working, or even if they are working, you put the IRA in the kid's name, you convert it to a Roth, just pay the tax. Why? Because a Roth is way better long-term than a regular IRA because all the growth in that Roth is tax-free. So, and all the money comes out tax-free. Tax-free. You don't have a RMD in a Roth IRA. It's way better. So you do the Trump account for the kids. You contribute what you can. At 18, you convert it to a regular IRA, and shortly thereafter, you convert it to a Roth. It's going to be great. So do the Trump account. If you're a Democrat and you say, "Well, I'm not going to do something for my kids with Trump's name on it," there's medication for Trump derangement syndrome. Okay, it's go out and sit in the sun. Okay, get some exercise, eat healthy. Just because it has Trump's name on it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Don't make a bad financial decision because you got bad politics, okay? Question number 3, is AI going to kill us? Yes, but it's going to be a while. It's going to be a long time. And right now, there was this, Anthropic was doing a model that they insulated it. It wasn't allowed to go to the internet. It found its way to the internet and hacked itself. And it's really kind of extraordinary, the amount of machine learning that's going on. But how is AI going to kill us right now? Does AI carry guns? Will it shut off our medications? I don't know. Will it launch nuclear weapons? It could, I guess, right? Well, I don't know. Could it? So is AI going to kill us? No, AI is not going to kill us. Is it going to take a lot of jobs? Well, it's going to change the job market. And think of the buggy whip industry. Before Henry Ford assembly line, the Model T, people were driving around in horse and buggies, and you had a buggy whip. You'd sit in the buggy and you'd give the horse a little correction, a little tap on the hiney. And, well, Ford put that industry out of business essentially. Did it create a lot of other jobs? Yes, it created way more jobs. And it's kind of the short-sightedness that we naturally have. All of us have this. They say, well, that's going to end. That industry, whatever it is, you think about the repetitive nature that robots could do. We already have robots. If you go to an assembly line for a car, you can watch these robot arms weld the chassis and the cars. Those are robots. Those took a welder's job. Now, in doing that, they're far more precise and the behavior is very repeatable. They never call in sick. They don't take Christmas off. They have no vacation time. You don't have to pay for health insurance for robots. Now, you have to service them. And I talked to somebody this week who was talking about robots into the hospitality industry to clean rooms. So, yeah, it's going to change the outlook on the job market, but I don't think it's going to kill us. And then my final question is, and I'm getting this a lot right now, is about SpaceX. I do like SpaceX. Now, their price action on the stock has been horrible. It's below the IPO price. It's a great value right now. The rocket company makes no money. In fact, it loses a ton of money. They're going to have a conference call, an earnings call later this month. We'll get a little bit more info on them. But there's other things in there that make a lot of money, and they are going to make money on the rocket company. And so when you buy a stock, you're not buying it so you could trade it 2 days later. You're not a hedge fund. You buy it so it grows in value, and then you sell it at some future point at a higher price, hopefully. Meta did the same thing. Meta opened up when they went public. It was horrible. People were mad at me for buying it. Nobody's mad at me now for owning Meta. And I gotta believe, I want to believe, I do believe that SpaceX will create immense value. I think it's undervalued substantially right now, mainly because the analysts fail to kind of appreciate the robotic side of it, the launch side of it. I believe that this company is going to be there's going to be far more value in it going forward. We're going to make a lot of money off of this. Now, of course, I can't guarantee that. It's not written in stone. If you need money back in a year, I wouldn't buy SpaceX. It's just too risky to buy if you need your money back quickly. So this is long-term money. And really most investing, if not all investing, should be thought of as longer-term proposition just because there's risk in the market. We didn't know we were going to war with Iran in January. We didn't know that. All of a sudden, there we were, and we're back at it again. So listen, keep the faith. Do the things that you know are right. If you make a mistake, do the next right thing. Don't, figure out what you did wrong. Think about it, kind of after action review, and then make the next right decision. Don't keep making bad decision after bad decision. And if you don't have people that can help you do that, find people that you can bounce ideas off of. This is what I do. Okay, people that are generally smarter than me or as smart as me. And it's hard to find people smarter than me, to be honest. So that's a tough lift. But you can find people that you can use in a good way to bounce ideas off of. Make the next right decision. I am David Szafranski, a real American, a true gun-owning, red-blooded patriot, and the voice you can trust.